Welcome back to Autism Live. We're very excited because once again on the show we have joining us Jordan Kamnitzer and Toni Kent. And these are two amazing people who have been on the show before. I had identified you as self-advocates earlier, but let's be more specific. I'm going to let you guys introduce what words you use when you describe yourselves. So, Jordan, how do you identify yourself?
Well, Shannon, I do identify myself mostly, yes, as a self-advocate with Asperger's syndrome, and I'm very proud, and especially with the way things have been going on. And of course, I know there'll be a lot more discussion when it comes to the film Perfectly Normal and all that.
We'll talk about that.
Right.
And Toni, you wanted us to be clear about the fact that you are not on the spectrum, but there is another way that you identify. Do you want to tell us how you identify yourself?
Well, my name is Toni Kent, and I have a disability too, and I have Tourette's syndrome, but I take medication for it. And I feel very grateful in my life what I have, and incredibly grateful that I have Jordan in my life. And we've gone through some very hard times and sad times, but we're still together. And I mean, I sometimes don't stop and think how very lucky that I have it, especially to have Jordan. Even though I'm sorry, Jordan, that I'm a lousy girlfriend.
Well, obviously you are not, because you clearly make Jordan happy. And this is evident in the film. Tell us how this whole film came about. It's a short film about the two of you.
Jordan?
Yes?
Are you sick of me?
No.
That's always the female question. Isn't that what we always all want to ask? Honey, if you're watching, to my husband, are you sick of me? And hopefully he'll say the same thing. No, not at all. That's what we always want to hear from our men, right?
Yes.
Right.
But Jordan, tell us about the film and how it all came to be.
Well, the film Perfectly Normal had come through a friend of the owner of the company that I work for called Social Study School Services. And David Reiner and Marika Reiner knew a person from the Netherlands named Jars de Balci, and was interested in wanting to do a documentary about my lifestyle and my life with Asperger's syndrome. And though it took filming for a year and a half, we had it done at different places. And it was just a wonderful experience doing it, despite the patience of doing the thing over and over again.
Yeah.
That was very valuable.
And so it's about, what, 14, 15 minutes long? It's not very
12
long.
minutes.
12 minutes, okay. And I really encourage everyone to watch it because it's 12 minutes well spent to see. It's like getting to spend a day in your lives and going places with you guys, including going to a grocery store and seeing what it's like for you guys. And you guys are as cute as you can be. You're such a lovely couple. But your life is a little bit unique. You both work, but you work full time, correct, Jordan?
Right.
And you have a very important job
Yes.
that you've been doing for a long time. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
I'm a file clerk for Social Study School Services, where supplemental materials grades K through 12 are supplied. I've worked there for 31 years. It's located in Culver City, California.
And I don't mean to be insensitive, but at a certain point, are you thinking of retiring?
Not yet,
Yeah.
knowing about how the economy and things are itself,
Yeah. Well, I don't want to guess your age, and you don't have to say your age, but I know recently people have started looking at me and going, so do you have plans for retirement? And I'm like, retirement? What's that? I'm planning on working straight up through lunch on the day of my funeral. But other people plan to retire. So I'm glad to hear that it's not on your agenda
no.
either. You're
Even
planning on
at the
working.
age of 58, which is what I am, I'm not worried of that yet.
Okay, I'm
I thought,
with you on
Jordan,
that.
that you were 21.
She makes a joke about
Oh, look. That's nice. That she
Jordan's
feels that you're-
21 and you're 20.
She makes
Oh.
a joke on that, yeah.
I would take that. Although I don't want the problems of 20 back again.
No,
I
sorry about
prefer to
that.
be in my late 50s because 20 was intense, right?
Right.
But in any case, so this film chronicles a period of time with the two of you. And Toni, you work, but
I
are you
work
full time?
Part-time.
Part-time.
And I'm very, very grateful for my job, you know. And I tell Jordan and everybody else that any person that has any type of job, they are very lucky they have it because it's very hard to find jobs nowadays.
Absolutely.
You know, so many places people have gotten laid off and they've lost their lease, you know, because they're not getting enough customers in and stuff
Yes.
like that, you know. So
And having a
it's-
job is a beautiful thing
and
to have. It's a
not
right.
only that, you know, I'm very grateful that I'm able to work because there are a lot of people with disabilities that are too sick to work and can't work, you
That's
know.
absolutely
So we got to
right.
count our blessings about that too, you know.
Absolutely. So if people wanted to watch the film, Jordan, where's the best place to send them right now to see it?
Go online to the New York Times Perfectly Normal link,
Okay.
and you'll be able to see it when you click on it. And I forwarded the note I got from Yoris after it became available, and I always say to feel free to share it with your friends and colleagues.
And honestly, the New York Times picked it up and said, we think that this is an important film and made the link available so that people can watch it for free. And that really was an amazing thing for the New York Times to look at your documentary and go, we think this is important enough to put it on our website. That's pretty a big compliment, right? But you've had other compliments since, and the film has been able to do some pretty amazing things. You had a little bit of an update. What's happening with the film now?
Well, in the past years, I still spread the film around online or even on my Facebook page. Last couple of years ago, me and Toni went to San Francisco for the Self-Advocacy Conference, which went very, very well. It dealt with relationships, and we showed the film and answered questions about it.
And so if there's a group of people who are watching who say, gosh, we think they watch the documentary and they think this is pretty amazing, because there is something, I mean, the word I want to use is intimate. It is so intimate that we get to spend some time with you guys. We get to see how you spend your couple time together. We get to watch you cooking a meal, going to the grocery store to get the ingredients for it. And we also get to see you playing the piano and singing. It's just delightful. It will put a smile on your face, right? But it will also, our hearts bleed for you a little bit because it's not easy. At this point in your lives, some of the things, because money is not readily available. You guys are working hard like everybody else, and sometimes there isn't enough money for all the things that you would like to do.
Yes.
So there's that heartbreak to it too. It's just a real story about real people and this idea of normal, right? Like, well, I don't know what normal is, but we get to see the normalcy of your life together, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So if people are watching that and they belong to a group and they go, hey, we got to have these folks come, you are willing to travel and to go to places and answer questions and speak and do all of that.
Oh, yes. And well, one of the factors I'd like to say is that both me and Toni in August are looking forward to presenting the film to the Office of Clients' Rights Advocates in Sacramento. We're getting a stipend payment for that, and that's wonderful.
I'd like to see you get more of those. I think that would be a great thing to have, if you've got a group and you can afford to have these lovely folks come and speak, I think it would be well worth your dollars. And that would be good for you guys. There'd be another income stream to help you guys with the things that you want to do. Because, you guys have hopes and dreams like everybody else.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
Of course. And we want to see you guys be successful in all those things. Now, at the time of the filming, you guys, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys were living separately, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And are you still living separately, or do you
Yeah.
live? Okay.
Yes.
But you come and spend weekends at his house? Okay. And well, I'm kind of glad when we asked you to come on, Jordan. I never want to assume that a couple is still together because you never know. But I was so excited when you said, "Hey, can Toni come too?" And I was like, "Yes, they're still together."
Sure.
I absolutely. That was like that put a smile on my face.
Sure.
Jordan still has to put up with me.
but
Jordan,
he's.
I put with her,
I'm
too.
sorry that I'm a terrible person.
not.
But so maybe let's take a minute and talk about what you love about each other. What are the things that keep you together?
Well, Jordan is very patient with me, and I know I do some things to drive him crazy, and my
That's
crazy,
called being a woman, Toni.
my crazy ideas, you know what I mean? But, I know sometimes, Jordan and I do argue a lot, but every couples do, every now and then. But we always work things out, but I know sometimes I don't listen to Jordan, and sometimes I'm very hard-headed, and I know a lot of things Jordan is right, and I don't admit that, but that means that Jordan cares, know, and I love Jordan very much. He's the
Sure.
best boyfriend in the whole wide world. I love you very much.
Thank you.
Jordan, what do you love about her?
She's been there for me at different times, both good times and bad times and crisis and all that. Yeah.
So has he.
And there are folks who say that it's hard to find a relationship in life in general, right? And then there are statistics about for folks that are on the autism spectrum that sometimes it's harder to have a successful relationship. What do you think the secret is to the success that you guys have found in having a long-term relationship? Because how long have you been together now?
26 plus years.
That's a long time. That's a long time. What's the secret to your success? We can all learn.
Cooperation, to say that, understanding and respect for each other's needs.
That's amazing. And what, is you say the same thing, Toni, or do you have a different idea?
Absolutely, yeah. But a lot of people, a lot of couples, sometimes don't really do those things like cooperation and stuff. And a lot of people sometimes they do break up, or some, are violent or they do other things that isn't right, but we don't ever do that at all,
You respect for each other.
I think if, for an example, anybody is a violent person, for an example, they're a very sick person and they're not right in the head, And I think they would need to get some serious psychiatric help, because that's not normal and that's not right. But yet, a lot of people in life are like that way. And Jordan and I stop and think all the time how very lucky that we have it, that we are not that way and we work things out a lot more mature and a lot better than other people do. But other people need to learn, but sometimes it takes longer for other people to learn, or quicker or shorter, but just it depends on the person. But I have seen and heard a lot of people like shootings and stuff, and I mean, and it's terrible. They're not right in the head, they're very sick people,
agree.
Jordan and I do agree about that, but we should stop and think how very lucky we are that we have good heads on our shoulders.
Absolutely. And solving issues and problems instead of saying I'm done,
Or
right?
brushing it off,
not.
yeah.
Brushing it
absolutely.
off, letting it go.
Brushing it aside, yeah.
And that's some of what we see in the film is that you guys will look at, if an issue comes up, you communicate well with each other and you let each other know, hey, that doesn't work for me. So again,
But sometimes we don't agree the same, but that doesn't mean we're terrible
well,
people. Of course
exactly.
not.
You're never going to agree with somebody 100%.
Right.
Oh gosh, yes.
Right. It also means a lot of sacrificial issues and lifestyles as well. I've still been involved with the Jazz Hands for Autism group, I know, for nearly 2 years now, and I really enjoy that. We recently had our annual concert there in the North Hollywood area.
Can I tell you who's on the show tomorrow? Is Ifunanya.
Yes.
Nowicki is on the show tomorrow.
Yeah, I know she'd been on some of them too.
Yes. So with Nancy for Let's Talk Autism with Shannon and Nancy, the CEO and founder of Jazz Hands is going to be with us tomorrow. So she's an amazing young woman, and I'm glad to hear that you're still doing stuff with them. That's really wonderful. Because you're a singer, play the piano.
Yes, I'm involved with classes and a lot of other activities. We've had a few performance gigs, some for stipends, some voluntarily without pay.
Wonderful. So we're out of time, but unfortunately, but I want to go back to if
Sure.
people want to see the film. What's the name of the film again?
Perfectly Normal.
And you can, if you Google New York Times Perfectly Normal documentary, it should come up.
Yes.
And then 12 minutes, well spent, free for you to watch that and see the remarkable life and the rapport between you two amazing. My face always hurts after you're here because I smile so much. You're just so
Yeah.
fun to be around, and it's. You know, when you see people that truly love and care about each other, it just makes you happy
Yes.
to be in their presence, and that's what you guys do for us here.
Of course,
so
very much.
we adore you, and I'm so glad that you could join us today.
Yes.
And is there also a website that we can send people to? Do you have a website, Jordan?
No, but they can go to my email itself.
Do you want to give your email?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Sure. jkamnitzer@gmail.com.
Okay.
Spelled J-K-A, M as in Mary, N as in Nellie, I, T as in Tom, Z as in Zebra, E, R as in Robert, @gmail.com.
Wonderful. You know, you also could have a career in voiceover, Jordan. You have a wonderful voice, you have a great speaking voice, and you speak very clearly and you articulate. So there's a whole other sideline for you if you ever need it.
Well, you know any agents for that?
I don't, but I don't even know if they do that anymore through agents. We'll talk after,
Yeah, sure.
after the show. In any case, we are totally out of time, but we want to thank the two of you for being here with us. We want to thank you for all of us for being with us. We started a little bit late, so we're ending a little bit late, but we will be back. Hey, thanks for watching Autism Live. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.